shut him down. Is it the Quran says if your wife disobey you, beat her? Actually, you know what? Let me search for the same sheikh, the shaky sheikh, to see what he say about beating wives. Maybe we can find a video about it made by him. Let us see. We found a video by this guy about it.
Atib says about the beating of a wife, and he quoted a hadith and the verse of the Quran, etc. Akhi, the general trend is that Allah ordered men to be kind to their wives. Allah says in the Quran, وَعَاشِرُوهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. You have to live with them in what is normal, what is kind, what is well known to people, to be accepted.
What is that?
You have a mother, you have a wife, you have a daughter, you have a sister.
Here you notice the hypocrisy. I mean, there's a verse in the Quran says beat them, and now you are saying to me that the Quran says be nice to them? No, you're a liar. The Quran says be fine with your wife if she obey you. She don't obey you, you beat her. This is the normal. The second she don't, or even you fear that she will not obey you, you beat the hell of her.
And you don't like people to deal with them harshly or in a violent way. So this is the general trend.
This is general, okay.
However,
what
goes behind closed doors is something that only the man and his wife are capable of handling. There should be no outside interference, because whenever there is interference from the families, things go south. Also, the Prophet ﷺ told the companions that a lot of women visited my wives and complained to them of their husbands beating them. By Allah, they are not from among the best of you.
Did you just hear what he said? The women who complain about their husband beating them, by Allah, they are not the best of you, they are the worst. Why? Because they complain that the husband is beating them. But you just said in the beginning, you should be fine, kind to the women. And now you are saying that the woman she complained from beating her by her husband, for sure she is a bad woman. So in Islam, even the right to complain after the man he beat the hell of you is taken away from you, because now any woman, she will not complain, because if she do that, the Prophet said that the woman who complained because her husband beat her, she is a bad woman. Another way he's saying she is a whore. She have no right even to complain. And for sure that means she have no right to call the police, because the police will say to her, well, he's your husband, he have the right to beat you. If the neighbor is the one who beat you, we can arrest him. But as long as your husband, well, he have the right to beat the hell of you. So here we see how Islam legally, as Zakir Naik says, treat women equally, to the point the women, she can't even complain about her husband beating her.
And complain to them of their husbands. A lot of women visited my wives and complained to them of their husbands beating them. By Allah, they are not from among the best of you.
See?
Meaning these men who beat their wives are not among the righteous.
Look at this idiot. The hadith is the opposite. He says, by Allah, that those women who complain are not the best of you. He make it about the men. Do you see the coward? Unbelievable. Let us go to the hadith and laugh together. Hold on, let me find the hadith. You see, because in Arabic the language is very clear. Actually, this hadith he is quoting, this potato, is the reason for the verse in the Quran to come and to beat women. So how he's saying that if the man he beat his wife, he is the bad? Let us see. Let's go to this one. And let us see this hadith. It says here that the Messenger of Allah is saying, don't beat God's handmaids. But when Umar came to God Messenger, to Allah Messenger, he said, the women have become blonde toward their husband. So he gave a license to beat them. Then many women went around God Messenger family complaining to their husband. And he said, many women have gone around Muhammad family complaining of their husbands. And then he said, those are not the best among you. He was speaking about the women, because he is the one who gave license to beat the women. Because what this guy he just said is the opposite from what the license said. The license said, beat your wives. What happened now? Women are complaining. So if the men, they are practicing the license Muhammad he gave them, why they are the worst? So you see here, he tried to change the meaning of the story when the story is so clear. It's about Muhammad giving a license to beat the women, and those who they are complaining, they are the bad. Let me show you here, just to show you how we can make it clear. Many women have gone around Muhammad family complaining of their husband. Those who do so, that is, who take to beating their wife, are not they are not the best among you. This is the translation of this report here. Look what the translation is saying. Those who do so, do what? Complaining. And then here continue, he's saying, those who take to beating their wives are not the best among you, but this is not in Arabic. In Arabic it says, يَشْكُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُنْ لَيْسَ أُولَئِكَ بِخَيْرَكُمْ. Those who complain about their husband, they are not the best of you. Now here we need to ask the question, if the man, let us say for the sake of argument, if the man who beat his wife is not the best of you, so why Muhammad gave them the license to beat them then? You see, this is why the translation and the fabrication is amazing, how they try to cover the stupidity of this cult. You just gave them license to beat them. It's like, you know, The government, they gave me a license to carry a gun, and then the government, they says those who carry guns are the worst of you. But you are the one who told me you can carry a gun. So obviously the story is the opposite. Let us hear more from this idiot, so we can see what more he would add.
The pious, those who are God-fearing. And this is a strong warning from the Prophet ﷺ. Now, when we judge things, we don't as Muslims refer to the United Nations. We don't refer to the Geneva Convention. We don't refer to man-made laws made by the disbelievers and the kafirs. We refer to the Quran and the Sunnah. So if you go to verse 34, chapter 4, I'm giving you the reference. وَاللَّاتِ تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنْ, those whom you fear their disobedience, their rebellion. What to do with them, the women?
What to do?
Then you should advise them.
Okay.
You should give them counseling. You should remind them of Allah, of how bad this is, how sinful it is.
Okay.
And that they are doing something that Allah does not love. فَعِظُوهُنَّ. If this doesn't work, وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Then you have to abandon them, but this is only in regards of intimacy. So you sleep with her on the same bed, but you don't have any intimacy. You don't hug her, you don't kiss her, you don't have any hanky-panky.
Yeah, give her a face, hanky-panky.
And this goes on like the issue of advising her for a while, not for a day or two, or for a moment or two, maybe for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of advising. Didn't work, then abandon being intimate with her for 3-4 weeks. This doesn't work. Then the last and third and final resort is to beat them. So Allah doesn't say bring a baseball bat to beat them up with it.
We beat them with what?
Ibn Abbas, when who is one of the great interpreters of the Quran, was asked how to beat them, he said, with this. You see this twig?
Yeah.
If I beat myself with it, I'm not going to be affected. He said.
Here you see the deception, you see. The Meswak is a long root. This guy is holding little brush for his teeth, and he say, this is how we beat them. Who is stupid here? I mean, who is going to believe this garbage? So you are beating her now as a last solution, and this is beaten by a toothbrush? Are you tickling her, or you are beating her? You see the stupidity? Someone saying that the daughter of Bill Gates, she married a Muslim. Well, they are atheists. And for him, he married an atheist. And so, like, what a big deal. Is she, like, different a human being? This is the Meswak. Let me show it to you on the screen, so everybody will laugh about what this guy is saying. Look what he is talking about. This is what you beat the women with. And this is after they cut it pieces and they make it small. Let us put it in the screen. Do you see it? It's a long root, very flexible. They beat the camel with it. It's like even way more harmful than a belt. He took something from his pocket, a small little tiny piece of this, and he said we beat her with that. But in fact, at that time, the Muslims, they carried the whole stick in their hand, and they beat their animals with it. In the same time, they put the end of it in their mouth, which is very dirty, and they chew it. Because remember, the penalty is it's a penalty, it's not a reward. You are beating the women so she might obey you. Well, if you gave her a toothbrush tickling, that is not even a beating. You are fooling who? And now because it became expensive, all the Muslims, they want to do what Muhammad used to do, so they cut it pieces and they said it. But this is not what Ibn Abbas was holding in his hand, you coward. The Meswak is a very long root. It's a root. It's not even a branch of a tree. It is a root. They have to dig in the ground in order to get it. They dig in the ground. And then they get the root. And all of us, we knew how root is flexible. But at the same time, it's hard. And you can tell. I mean, you can see the structure of this wood. So they lie and they say, oh, this is not really a big deal. This is what they beat the wife with. You see this Abdul is selling them? You see the stick? This is the stick he took from his pocket. look how small it is. I mean, cowardness, lying, deception is the business of Islam. Brother, it is this, you beat her with this. With this, brother. With this. And do you think really people will believe your stupid lie? I remember, the purpose of this beating is to force the women to obey you. But if you beat her with toothbrush, she will never. I mean, what's the point of this beating then? Listen, he said this is the last solution. When you hear the last solution, that means it's something very bad. Well, if you beat a woman with toothbrush, she will like it. Maybe even she might get excited. Imagine this Abdul coming to the bedroom of his wife and he have a toothbrush in his hand. To do what? To beat his wife. Look at the branch, how long it is. Do you see it? Do you see how the roots and the branch? And now actually even they are using the branches, not only the roots. Do you see how short it is? While he took something from his pocket and said, we beat her with this. Let us go and get them busted from their prophet story. A woman, she come to Muhammad. And her husband, he did beat her until her skin became greener than her clothing. The guy, he just said to us, we beat them with the toothstick, and very short thing. Read carefully. Rif'a divorced his wife, whereupon Abdul Rahman ibn etc. blah blah blah, he married her. So this is a woman, she got divorced. And she got divorced 3 times. And according to Islam, if you divorce your wife 3 times, she can't go back to you unless she go and F a new husband. If, not marry only. She have to do nikah, not only marry. So this woman, she married another husband, hoping that she will make him divorce her, obviously, by not sleeping with him, so she can go back to her husband. But look what happened. This guy, he started beating her, and this woman, she was the lady, I should say, the lady wearing a green veil, and complained to Aisha of her husband and showed her a green spot in her skin caused by beating. So what the Muslim used to use? They use something will cause a green spot on the skin. Is that a toothbrush he took from his pocket? Let us go back to the toothbrush.